up, guys? John the Third here. We're back again for another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about my go-to soft jerkbait rod and just that whole entire setup, rod, reel, line. I have two different rods now that I use. They're in the same series, but they're just two different lengths, and I'm going to tell you why. One of them, my coworker actually recommended it to me, and so that's why I'm kind of experimenting with one of them. But just to start off, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it, and I'm gonna talk to you about the differences between the two and why I'm playing between the two different rods. So the rod that I actually use majority of the time is a 7-foot medium heavy Team Lose Elite Series rod. Now this rod is a $350 rod. This is Lu's most high-end rod, and the reason why I chose to use this rod is for sensitivity. So the way that we fish a fluke or a soft jerkbait here in the Carolinas, especially on Lake Murray, since it's a blueback herring lake, make a long bomb cast, and once you make the cast, you kind of pull real fast, pull real fast, pull real fast. And so those bites sometimes can be very subtle, and that's why I chose to use the Elite Series rod, because of the sensitivity. When you're jumping into these higher end rods, no matter what the brand is, you get a lot more sensitivity in those higher end rods. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the bites in some of the lower end rods, right? And that is far from the case. But for me, I decided I wanted to test these rods out for something different other than like dragging the bottom and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to use this rod as a, I guess you say, a fluke rod, soft jerkbait rod. And so again, 7-foot medium heavy. And the reel that I have paired on here is the Team Lose Custom. Now, this reel is $179. I really enjoy fishing with this reel. It's that really small SLP frame, so it's super compact. You know, I told you guys about how I like really compact reels, and I don't really need a big reel for a soft jerkbait, right? So this reel right here, super compact, it's lightweight, feels good in the hand to fish, and I can fish with it pretty much all day. Now, this reel has internal pins, and you have to turn the internal pins on. You have to, I think it has, let's go ahead and look, just so for the sake of saying it. There are 4 pins in this reel, and when you see this reel right here, you see the pins right there, what I'm talking about? Those pins right there, there comes with 4 in here, and those pins, I turn on 3. A lot of videos, when you see guys talking about reels that have pins on the inside, they say you turn, if you have 4, you turn 2 on and have 2 off. If they have 6, you have 3 on, 3 off. I have found that that is false, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the more pins you actually have on here, so like I do 3. So if it has 6, I have on 4. The more pins that you have, it eliminates you having a lot of backlashes. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna have backlashes at all, but the more pins you put on the inside, turn on the inside, the less of a chance that you are gonna have backlashes. And so from there, I adjust my gas pedal, and then I adjust my brake pedal, just like I told you in a lot of the other reels that I use. But with those pins on the inside, those pins can be very tricky. So be mindful of the information that you take in and play around with the pins on the inside. But for me, I have found 3 pins on the inside is the best way to go. If there are 4 pins, if there's 4, I do 3 pins. If there are 6 pins, I do 4. I'd like to have majority of them on, so 75% of them on, just to have the most control of the reel and the cast. Having 3 pins on the inside, it's not keeping me from making a very long bomb cast. So I want to give you that little tip right there. Now, I'm going to change this reel out soon, and I'm gonna just leave that right there. Lou's got some cool stuff coming down the pipe at iCast, so iCast is next week. So make sure you keep your eyes out for all the new content, all the new reels, rods that Lou's have to come out. But I'm actually gonna change this reel out for a different one. So just keep your eyes out for that. And I'll come back and probably do an update on that as well. So line, I have 15 on here. One of my coworkers, he uses 17, and I take that back, I'm sorry. He uses 12. I don't really know about 12. I feel like I got I feel like, so with the hook that I have on here, and I'm talking about the hook that I generally use, these hooks are a little stout. That's why I go up to a little bit bigger line, right? And so I just feel like 15 gives me the best all around size line in every situation, right? And then the hook, I use a 4/0 hook. Now this hook right here, and I'm gonna take it. I want you to see this hook. Now it's a one of my buddies said, "What's this fancy hook you got on here?" This is a Mustad Ultra Point hook, and you can see like it's very boxy and very, I guess, angly, as you can say. And these came out last year at ICAST, and I was very intrigued by them. To me, this hook compares close to the Owner Haymaker hook. Now, it doesn't have as much as a gap like the Owner Haymaker hook does. And of course, the Owner Haymaker hook has that, it's like a pointed out hook point, whereas this is more boxy and a little bit in, but it's very close, right? And so I've been playing around with this one, and I also have one of the other Mustad hooks, and it's just a regular worm hook, but the gap in that sucker is massive. When I say massive, I mean extremely massive. And I actually have one on there, and I'll show it to you in a second. So, but that's the hook that I use. And soft jerkbait is, you know, the good old caffeine shad. So this color right here, this is Sexy Shad 2.0, right? And I normally throw the bigger caffeine shad. These are heavier than your Zoom Flukes, very much heavier. So you can make a very long bomb cast with these things compared to your Flukes. And so I would say, like, I like the thickness of these baits. I like how much salt is in them. I like how heavy they are. And it just makes it very, very easy to cast. And normally, so the colors that I use, and I actually have a couple packs over here. The colors that I use is, I have a handful. I already showed you Sexy Shad 2.0. So I use Carolina Chrome, and I'll take one out the pack so you can see them. I'll take each one out the pack so that you can see the colors that I generally use, right? And when I normally use them. So my go-to all around is the Sexy Shad 2.0. When it's super duper sunny, Carolina Chrome. Gotta love Carolina Chrome. Super bright, burn it. Like I said, it just flashes. It looks like one of those, blueback heron. Another one that I use is Smoky Shad. This one is kind of a mixture of, I guess you could say, like a pearl and then Sexy Shad 2.0 a little bit with a little bit of blue in it. So that's another one that I use. And again, that is Smoky Shad. And then the last one that I use, and this is more so, I guess you could say, when it's a little bit cloudy, it's still translucent, but you can pretty much use this any time, to be honest with you. And that's Glacier. So Glacier is like basically like a pearlish translucent white, and it got like a violet bluish hue to it. Yeah, it's like a violet bluish hue to it. And that's another great color that I use. And like I said, I normally use the 5-inch, and that's normally my go-to size. Now, this other setup right here that I throw a soft jerkbait with, this here also is a Team Lose Elite Series rod. But this one looks a little bit different, and the reason why, this is actually a prototype rod. So this was the prototype rod before the actual final version, which is that one, because that one has the Drytech Ultra Pro Weave wind grips on it, whereas this has carbon fiber handle and butt on there. So this one here looks very sleek. And then it has a different locking nut also. But this is the big difference is this is a 7.3 medium heavy fast, whereas that one is a 7-foot medium heavy fast. So I like a 7.3, as you already know. And so I've been playing around with this a little bit. I feel like I can get a little bit more casting distance. Am I going to say I'm getting a lot more? No. But I can tell that I am getting a little bit more of distance with the 7.3. And setup still the same as far as line. This is 15-pound, 2-grade floral Contra. And then the reel, $99 speed spool. I mean, come on, bulletproof reel. It's going to get the job done. And so I did say I want to show you the difference in the hook on this particular one compared to the one that is on that rod. Now, y'all know I love owner hooks, and I will forever continue to use owner hooks. But when I seen the gap in this sucker right here, now my favorite owner hook, y'all know, is the owner offset wide gap worm hook. and it's a regular worm hook, but the gapping is super wide. But this one here, and you might not be able to tell, but that gap on that sucker is massive. And I've actually compared this hook to the owner hook, and this hook here has more gap than that owner hook. And I was greatly surprised. And so I'm still playing around with it. I don't have confidence, 100% confidence in this hook yet. And I'll tell you why. Just simply because I haven't caught enough fish on it yet. Actually, I haven't caught a fish on this hook yet because I just bought the pack like the other day. So I'm still playing with it. What I'm probably going to do, I'm going to take it to Santee and I'm going to flip with it. I'm going to flip some rage bugs, some rage hawks, some scound bugs, some mock crawls, pitch around texture rig worm. And I'm just go down there and I'm gonna just flip with it. And I'm gonna see what the hookup ratio is like on that particular hook. I don't feel like I'm gonna have an issue with it. I think it's gonna work just fine. But I've caught bigs on that owner hook. Like I've caught one of my PBs, I caught a 920 on that owner hook. And I mean, he was pinned and was not coming off. And I caught 7 on that same hook. Once I set the hook, they were pinned, was not coming off. So I've never lost a fish on that owner hook. So I have the utmost confidence in that hook. But I want to try out this hook because, like I said, this has a little bit more gap to it. And I'm just going to see. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if money's on the line, I'm probably going to go with owner just simply because I got a lot of confidence in it. But we're going to see. So that wraps up today's video. So this is the last video that you will see until I cast. So I cast next week. You might see an iCast recap video. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to do that video in particular. Still playing around with some thoughts in my brain on how I want to go about that video. Do I want to do a in the show type video? Do I want to do just an at-home recap type video? Y'all let me know in the comments what type of video y'all want to see pertaining to iCast. And I'm really still trying to figure that out. I think I know what I'm going to do. Who knows? We might have a couple special guests come join the video that week. So make sure you stay tuned again. And like I said, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of new products that's coming out from Lose and Strike King. They're going to make sure you go by my Instagram page, my Instagram and my Facebook page. And if you go to my YouTube Reels or YouTube Shorts, there's a video of a new reel that is coming out next week from Lose. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm JB3. I got to finish cleaning up the boat. Got to go drop the boat off tomorrow at the shop. I'm actually getting another console added right here so my wife can breathe when I'm running down the lake. So got to go drop the boat off at the shop in the morning. So I'm basically taking everything out. I already need to reorganize a little bit. I made it a little bit junky. So that's why you see the big pile of rods behind me and bunch of baits and stuff everywhere. So I'm taking everything out just so I can drop it off at the shop. It's gonna be at the shop until I get back from iCast. So it's basically got to sit there and wait for a little while till I get back. And then yeah, so JB3, I got to get back to living the dream and cleaning out this boat. I'll catch you later.